what I'm seeing, not just in the United States, but really across the world in the defense industry, is the emphasis of two things. Number one, it's faster innovation in the realm of information and data and automation, unmanned systems. That is a trend that began just a few short years ago as an idea, and now it's reality as we're seeing even in the battlefield in some of the conflicts we're seeing in recent months and years. But the second trend is a real focus on productive capacity, and not really just for the defense systems themselves, but upstream. Is a nation able to produce the inputs, have the manufacturing scale, and the ability, yes, to produce the weapons they need to win wars? Because that is the measure of whether a nation can not just win a war, but deter a war. So again, innovation in the realm of information and data and unmanned systems, as well as an emphasis on productive capacity, industrial scale. Yeah, I think what you've seen in the past 25 years is a situation where major powers have become more equalized in their elements of national power. It's not just one superpower in the world anymore. So when you talk about competition, when you talk about geopolitical rivalry, again, it's not just about who has the weapons. It is about who has productive capacity, who has economic strength. Because economics and trade are no longer siloed from security, siloed from politics. So you need to build that productive capacity, make sure you have resiliency, and make sure that your country, you are insulated from influence and coercion in peacetime through economic levers. Well, I think Hanwha is a really unique company. Usually when you talk about defense companies, you talk about kind of traditional large lumbering primes that have been around for a while, but are not good at innovation, or generally they're not. And then you can talk about small defense startups, which are very fast moving, which are very software first, but they don't have the industrial scale of a prime. But then you have Hanwha. We actually have both. We have an immense ability to innovate, to learn lessons from the battlefield and apply them in new technologies, but we have the industrial scale to produce weapons en masse, to produce the hardware that we can marry up to the software. And that is very unique, because Hanwha has certain characteristics that other companies don't. We understand how to deliver on time and deliver at cost. And we apply that, taking that from the private sector businesses we have and applying it to the defense sector. Well, you're right. I think the invasion of Ukraine, a number of years ago, really focused the mind of our European allies on the need to reestablish deterrence. Europe has their own defense companies, but there's a gap there to be filled by partners and allied partners like Korea. And in my conversations across Europe, in speaking with policymakers, and in speaking with people who have true battlefield experience, their eyes really are opened to the capabilities that Hanwha brings, whether in missile defense, whether in long-range strike, whether in artillery. These are the weapons that they need to maintain peace, deter war, and they're looking at Hanwha's ability to bring that manufacturing capacity to Europe. Yes, we will export, and we can export, but can we domesticate, can we localize our productive capacity in Europe? And the answer is yes. Well, those were great companies. I have a lot of friends there, and we have great respect for them. But I think what you're seeing now in the United States is, like we have seen in Europe, a focus again on building up military strength. You're seeing budget increases. You're seeing more of a focus on not just buying more weapons, but establishing, again, the productive capacity I keep mentioning. So the primes, the US primes, traditional ones, will have their business and they'll continue to do that. But adding on top of their ability to produce, bringing in, again, Korean partnership through Hanwha, through other companies, and not just in defense, but upstream, in materials and in energy. This is something the United States is looking at, again, to widen that industrial base and use some of that new defense money that's coming online to make sure that the elements of national power are being strengthened. Very basically, Hanwha makes the best ships in the world, both commercial and naval. And I think when U.S. Navy officials see what Hanwha can create at our shipyard in Okpo, the speed at which we build, the efficiency with which we build, the quality that we build at that shipyard, they want that for the U.S. Navy. And I think I can say the same for European partners, Canadian partners, and others. They see the ability of Hanwha to produce, again, on time, on budget, and with high quality. Now, in the United States, as you know, well, we have acquired Philly Shipyard. The goal there is to take our productive capacity, our operational excellence that we have in Okpo, put that in Philly. So whether it's naval work or commercial work, we are providing, again, productive capacity in the United States to enable the United States to produce at the rate and quality that we do here in Korea. Yeah, I think shipbuilding is important for two reasons. And these are the reasons why policymakers, particularly in the United States, are concentrating on it. Number one, the world trading system operates on maritime shipping. And if you are a trading nation, if a big percentage of your economy is based on trade, whether import or export, and particularly energy export, you want to be able to export and import on your own ships. But number two, thinking about naval, military ships, any grand conflict will depend on naval power. And if it is a prolonged conflict, you don't want just the ability, or you just don't want to have the fleet. You want to have the ability to regenerate that fleet, because it's a competition not just between the boats themselves, but the productive capacity of the nation to withstand a protracted conflict. That's why there's a focus on shipbuilding. And that's why, to speed it up, there's a focus on partnership with Korea in particular, to see if there's an avenue for the two nations to join up so Korea can provide the technology, the know-how, the operational excellence to allow the United States to press fast forward on revitalizing the maritime industry of America. Well, I think it's important to note, Philly Shipyard may be the most historic shipyard in the United States. It has played a role almost since the founding of the country in terms of producing naval power. And there's a lot of heritage in the city of Philadelphia and a lot of pride around Philly Shipyard. But it did essentially fall into disrepair. It is not a modern yard, or it wasn't at the time that we acquired it in 2024. But the plan for Hanwha is, can we take that yard? Can we invest in it? Can we take the operational excellence and the technology, the advanced manufacturing we have in Okpo, and bring that to Philadelphia? Can we train the workers in our methods? And if we can do that, we can go from 1.2 ships a year that are built at Philly to 20 ships a year, which is roughly half of the capacity of our yard in Korea. If we can do that, that is obviously good for business because we're producing more ships, but it's great for America in terms of its maritime power. Right, it's a first contract one where we're joining up with another company to conduct some designs for the Navy, but this is I think an early sign of the confidence that the Navy has in Hanwha in shipbuilding. That's a confidence that's been relayed to me from Navy leadership, from military leadership, from the Department of War leadership, and we're starting to see that confidence in terms of, as you're saying, contracts, but a real business relationship at Philly. Yeah, this is an exciting space because it's not only us offering munitions in the United States, but partnering directly with the U.S. Army on making sure that the U.S. has a full supply chain of the munitions they need to fight and win wars. So we had a recent announcement of the U.S. Army allowing us a lease on actual Army property in Arkansas at Pine Bluff Arsenal. Now we're going to continue to look at that piece of land, and assuming it passes all the tests, we can move forward on building a facility that will be able to produce hundreds of thousands of rounds for the United States, but also bring in some of the precursor elements, the inputs into munitions onto the campus that will supply not just us, but other makers of munitions. This was a real first for the United States Army. It's a first, really, for the United States to have a vertically integrated production facility like this. And this is something that we're doing there, and something that perhaps we can look at in other countries, such as in Europe. Well, I think the goal is aligned with the U.S. Defense Department's goal, which is to strengthen the U.S. military with the most advanced systems, whether it's on land, whether it's on sea, whether it's some of the newer technological informatized warfare systems that we're talking about. And for that, for Hanwha to become in America what we are in Korea, which is a major defense prime, I think that has to be the goal and the ambition. Well, when I joined the company, I did not exaggerate when I told people that I think Hanwha might be the most important allied company to the countries of Europe as well as the United States. Hanwha brings to the table something that our allies in the West need. It is that rate of innovation. It is that productive capacity. It is that industrial scale. But it's also the trust built, because Korea is an ally, is a democracy, has been literally side by side deterring a war in what is still an active war zone on the peninsula. So having that pedigree, having that heritage, combined with our capabilities, we are already a very important player in Europe and the United States, but we will become a very significant and essential player in the defense of those nations.